the air?
Do I have everybody's attention now? Do I have everybody's attention now?
John, I got you.
Do I have everybody's
Sunday
attention
night.
now?
You put them cameras on me, then you must be willing to get that heart touch. This a must-see feeling. The news ain't good, then it must be villain. So I say a tag grounded, I don't trust these ceilings. Spread across your nose, and I'm on your ear. Highest necks on the cloud, hammer in the air. Sunday nights, prime time. I flex mine better. Voltron transform to DX Don Mega. And off scene, you probably think I'm nice, cause I flow like a stream to your wireless device. And the smoke full of steam on any given night. I'll short like a piece of any given slice. And for the latest and what is best about, I tune in and tune the rest out, Don. You gotta tell them, am I in the clear? Is this thing on? Am I on the air? On the air?
Oh, welcome back, everybody. It is time once again for another brand new edition of Am I on the Air? I'm your host, Don Mega, and I welcome you to the show. It is season 20, episode 7, and tonight's show is titled Sonic Island. Thank you so much for joining me here tonight. This is your one-stop shop for all the latest and greatest when it comes to entertainment news, television news, movie news, reviews. This is it. This is your spot for about 45 minutes. You come here, you enjoy, and you get caught up to speed with everything that's going down out there in that world of entertainment. So, man, I'm happy to be back. We're broadcasting live here from the Red Dragons Radio Studios here in lovely Tucson, Arizona on this Tuesday, February the 18th. That's right. So yes, we are broadcasting a day late. And as always, I like to be totally open and honest with my listeners and let you know why an episode is late. So I am officially now on vacation from work. My father has come out to visit from Florida. So as I said, I'm in Arizona. He lives in Florida. And he's come out to have a little vacation out here. So I'm taking some time off from work so we can have some quality family time and do some fun stuff. So he got here yesterday, and I was trying to wrap up my job because I'm going to be off for about the next week and a half, and I got a lot of shit to do. So I was trying to wrap up my life as my father came, and as I needed a plumber to come to the house and a handyman, and I had a bunch of stuff going on. I had a delivery I had to wait for. Monday was just a cluster of no time whatsoever. So yeah, just plain and simple, there was no time to record this show. I was actually wondering, when am I going to have time? Because not only did my dad come out, but he brought my niece with him, who is 5 years old. So my niece, who's 5, along with my daughter, who's 6, just raised hell together. Let's just say that. 2 girls at that age. Oh my God, man, my head is pounding. So I was like, where am I going to find time to do this show? And it was making me really sad because I got a couple cool movie reviews and I just didn't want to have to skip a week. Lucky for me, everybody went to bed early tonight. So I was like, jackpot, it's time. It is time for another new episode. So there you go. I got you all caught up with what's going on in my life. And so welcome everybody, and let's just dive right in. So we're going to start with our non-spoiler movie reviews. Actually, before I forget, I do want to shout out, it was in February of 2013, I believe, when we made this jump over to Buzzsprout, our current host site, our current server, when we had tried out a couple of other things in previous incarnations of the show, and I was just looking at some old stuff the other day, and I noticed that we made the jump in February, and since we're in February right now, it was just crazy to see that was February of 2013, and here we are, February 2020, still rocking and rolling. So hey, happy anniversary to myself. Okay, so on that note, let me jump into our non-spoiler movie reviews of the week. I got two of them for you. One is Fantasy Island, and the other one is Sonic the Hedgehog. So, Fantasy Island, let's start off with that one. I was able to go out on a date night with my wife. It doesn't happen very often. But I drug her to see Fantasy Island. She had no idea what this movie was, what it was about, or what was going to happen. But I said, let's go see this. Because, of course, it came out on Valentine's Day. So that was my Valentine's Day present was, let's go see Fantasy Island. This is a horror reimagining of Fantasy Island. It's from Blumhouse, so you know how that goes. And basically, here's the gist. You got Michael Pena running this really creepy supernatural island where all your fantasies come true. But of course, it's not that simple. You don't get to just have fun with your fantasies. We always want something in return. So in true horror fashion, none of the fantasies turn out to be the way that they are, but there's bigger twist behind the scenes. I want to tell you, I mean, from the very first time the trailer dropped, I was really hooked into this. I thought this was a cool idea. I liked taking it into this horror vein, and I dug it. I dug this movie. It was a lot of fun. I thought the performances were cool. You know, there's a handful of people in this movie that you see them and you're like, oh, I know that person. Besides Michael Pena, who, of course, we all know and love. Then there was Maggie Q, who I love Maggie Q, man. There's just something about her that is so sexy. It's probably all the years I watched her in Nikita because she was so awesome in that show. But man, I just love her, and I loved her in this. And then you had this blonde-haired dude, I forget his name, Chris Hansen, something Hansen. You know, he was on Mars, Veronica Mars, and then he's one of these dudes that just pops up in multiple different sitcoms and different things like that for an episode or two. And then his brother in the movie was the dude, Jimmy O. Yang, I believe is his real name. He was on Silicon Valley. He was awesome on Silicon Valley. Jin Yang. He was so great. So it was cool to see him in a different type of role. And then you had the chick from Pretty Little Liars, who is now on the Katie Keene show. She's really good. Michael Rooker even pops up in this thing. So I was like, cool, they got a nice little cast here, and it's a nice, short, tight movie that keeps you kind of guessing, keeps you wondering what's going on, what's the bigger twist here. And at the end of the day, I really liked it. My biggest gripe with it is they went PG-13. This seems to be something new that they're doing a lot lately with these sub-horror movies, especially Blumhouse feeling like they want to get it out to the bigger masses, so they go PG-13 with it for whatever reason. I think if this movie was R and they really leaned into the horror aspect of it, I think I would have really, really dug this movie. But without all that, it just becomes more suspenseful than horror. Like I said, I still liked it, but overall, not as much as I was hoping to. I really thought this would be a rated R movie, and it was not. So at the end of the day, I would give Fantasy Island 3 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. It was a fun time. My wife actually really liked it as well, too. She's not a horror fan. See, she's opposite to me. If this was rated R, I don't think she would have went to see it. She was stoked that it was only PG-13. So I'm glad for her, but she did end up really liking it for being something she had no idea about what it was. And like I said, I enjoyed it for what it was as well, too. 3 out of 5. Now, going into the weekend, of course, Sonic the Hedgehog came out, and my daughter, who I said earlier is 6 years old, she's been just, every time we see the commercial, she's like, I want to see Sonic, I want to see Sonic. So we went over the weekend and we checked out Sonic. And I gotta tell you, for as much grief as this movie's been getting, for all the drama behind the redesign and all that kind of stuff, it was a really cute movie. I actually had a really good time with it. My daughter absolutely loved it. The second we walked out, she said, can we go back and see it again? I'll probably go again with my dad and my niece since they're here visiting. I'm sure they'd love to go see it. It's a fun movie, man. Sonic is really, really cute. He's awesome. The way that he's portrayed is great. Ben Schwartzman does an awesome job voicing him, and he's got a great chemistry and a great vibe with our Cyclops, man, with Cyclops himself, James Marsden, who doesn't get enough credit for the things he does. And, of course, Jim Carrey as Dr. Robotnik, and this is Jim Carrey a la in the 90s. He's very much Ace Ventura, the Mask kind of style in this movie. And it works. It works for the kids, because my daughter kept looking at me going, he's so silly. And that's the whole point, man. He's trying to be silly, like I said, dude, coming out of it, I was like, damn, like, I wouldn't even mind to watch that again. I had a really good time with it. And like I said, when I rate these kind of movies, it's all about what the kids think. And my daughter laughed from beginning to end. There's a couple after credit scenes, so stick around for those. And at the end of the day, it's a fun video game adaptation, man. If you had any kind of nostalgia for Sonic, I think you'll really enjoy this movie. So I would give Sonic the Hedgehog 4 out of 5 stars. Very, very fun for the whole family. Go ahead and check it out and have a blast with it. So there's your 2 movie reviews, my friends. Fantasy Island 3 out of 5 and Sonic the Hedgehog 4 out of 5. Okay? All right, let's switch gears and let's get into our news of the last week here or so. Okay, we got Zachary Levi and Cole Sprouse teaming up to star in Lionsgate's new music comedy that is being titled Undercover. Agatha Christie's And Then There Were None film is officially in the works. The Hunt. Remember that movie? The Hunt was supposed to come out in September of last year, and then there was a bunch of controversy, and they pulled the film. Well, The Hunt is now being released again, officially, and it will come out next month. It's going to come out on March 13th, which is a Friday the 13th, which I love. And they released a new trailer for it, which really leans in to the satire style of the movie. And I'm excited, man. I wanted to see The Hunt in September, and I still want to see it. So check out that new trailer. We also have the brand new trailer for Altered Carbon Season 2, starring Anthony Mackie. If you've listened to this show for any amount of time, anytime I could talk about Altered Carbon, I do. If you love sci-fi and you've never seen this show on Netflix, you need to watch Altered Carbon Season 1. It is fantastic. It's one of the best shows I've seen in years. Well, now Season 2 has Anthony Mackie playing the same character that Joel Kinnaman played in Season 1. It's a long story. Don't ask me why. But the official trailer dropped, and Season 2 looks bonkers. It looks balls to the wall, and I'm super excited. It starts next week on Netflix, and I'm so down for it. Cannot wait. Jennifer Caton Robinson is set to co-write Thor: Love and Thunder, so I'm glad they're moving forward with that. Going to help Taika Waititi out. Universal Pictures is still trying to get the Bride of Frankenstein movie off the ground. They're trying very hard to get that up and rolling. Sony has announced a second Marvel movie coming in 2021, but we don't know what it is. Ooh, secrets. There's going to be a 911 crossover, that's right, between Lone Star and the regular show, but it's not what you think, because it's a very low side character that you wouldn't even notice if they hadn't made a big deal about it in an article. I was very disappointed by this, because I watched both 911 shows, and when I heard crossover, I thought, oh, this is going to be great. And then I saw what it was, and I'm like, come on, guys, this is a letdown. So I almost didn't even want to talk about it, so I'm going to move on. Superstore has been renewed for Season 6 over on NBC. Super excited about this one. I love Superstore. I can't believe it's even been on for 6 years. It's a great show, especially if you've ever worked retail in your life. So watch Superstore. Glad to see it coming back. Jonathan Tucker has landed a lead role in NBC's Debris pilot, which would be about a crashed alien ship. ABC's 30-something sequel adds Odette Annabelle to the cast. I love Odette Annabelle. I might have to watch now just for her. Margot Robbie is joining Christian Bale for David O. Russell's next feature film, so that's awesome, man. We're starting to stack the talent here. I really, really dig it. The Aladdin sequel is officially greenlit and ordered by Disney. So there you go, man. You ain't never met a friend like me. Aladdin was great. If you listen to our top 10 countdown episode of Am I Still in the Air, we talked very highly about Aladdin. I think both Peeps and Friggins had it in their top 10 for last year. I didn't, but I was pleasantly surprised. I gave Aladdin 5 stars for what it was. Really, really loved it. It made over $1 billion. This was a no-brainer. Aladdin 2 coming very soon. It will not be the return of Jafar. They're not adapting that, so don't you worry. It is official. that Rick Moranis is coming out of retirement and returning for a Honey, I Shrunk the Kids franchise movie called Shrunk. That's right, they're making another Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, this time with his children developing the shrinking serum. Josh Gad is going to be aboard this as a producer, writer, and star, and Josh Gad is going to be playing Rick Moranis' son, who grows up to kind of follow in his father's footsteps, makes a new version of the shrinking gun, and, you know, some hilarity is going to ensue. But the big news here is that Rick Moranis has been semi-retired for many years. They keep asking him to do all these different projects like Ghostbusters and just different things, and he always says no. But finally, he really liked this script, and he liked what they were going to do with this movie. So he's coming back to reprise his role, and I'm very excited about this. This might come to Disney Plus, but it sounds like because of Rick Moranis coming out of retirement and how much everybody loves this script, that they might actually make this a theatrical movie instead. So keep attention. We'll let you know kind of any changes going forward as this moves along. But man, very cool news. Something else coming to Disney Plus, and that's the Mighty Ducks series. That's right, Mighty Ducks series with Emilio Estevez returning, and now we know Lauren Graham has been cast as the new coach for the Mighty Ducks series. So she's going to be coming in to do the rival team against good old Emilio Estevez. Sony's Masters of the Universe film is set to begin production this summer, so long-delayed movie starring Noah Centineo is going to finally get going this summer. Good for them. The Baccarat Machine, that's right, that's a new movie that will star Awkwafina as the world's greatest female gambler. So there you go. The Baccarat Machine is going into production. Bruce Willis is set to star in a new sci-fi action movie called Cosmic Sin. Netflix's The Power of the Dog has cast Thomasin McKenzie and Cody Smith McPhee to the cast. Michael B. Jordan joins that David O. Russell project we just talked about, Margot Robbie joining, and Christian Bale. So like I said, they are stacking talent because now Michael B. Jordan is on board. Taika Waititi says, you know, he's might do a Star Wars thing, nothing is confirmed yet, and that it's looking like he will actually not direct Akira when it comes down to it. So at this time, it doesn't look like he's going to have time to do Akira, so we'll have to wait and see on that. Nathalie Emmanuel joins Kevin Hart in his new Quibi series, Die Hart, which is coming soon. Quibi, which officially launches in April. Lots of trailers you can watch on their website right now. It's an interesting concept of Quibi because it looks like it's meant to be watched on your cell phone. You know, we already talked about how Quibi is going to be very short, 10-minute or less episodes, but it looks like it's formatted for your phone to watch upright or sideways. So I'm just curious, can I watch it on my TV? Because they got some pretty cool shows on this thing. I don't know if I want to sit and watch it on my phone every day. But we'll see. We'll see what happens going forward with Quibi. Cynthia Erivo is set to reprise podcast role for Amblin's sci-fi thriller Carrier. Olivia Colman is set to lead Maggie Gyllenhaal's directorial debut, The Lost Daughter. George McKay and Lily Rose Depp are set to lead a new movie called Lead Wolf. Kwame Patterson is set to return for a recurring role in Snowfall Season 4. Diego Luna reveals that they're getting ready to start filming the Cassian Andor series for Disney+. Fox has ordered a pilot for a TV series about reenacting the Goonies. That's right, not a Goonies reboot, not a Goonies remake, but a show about a group of kids trying to reenact Goonies and record it to do their own thing with it. So, very interesting concept. If done right, it could be very funny. Joe Carnahan's remake of The Raid is now no longer a remake. That's right. So this thing's been in production for a long time. If you've ever seen The Raid is amazing. The Raid 1 and The Raid 2 are some of the best action movies you've ever seen. Then a couple years ago, it said that Joe Carnahan was going to do an English language remake of it because it was a foreign film, and that Frank Grillo would be in the movie as well. Well, it's taken so damn long to get this movie going that the rights have expired. So now Joe Carnahan says that, hey, since the rights have expired, we're still going to make the movie, but now it's just going to be called something different. So the movie is now called Xeno. I don't know why. Oh, it's the name of the main character, so they're just going with that. Supposedly negotiations are also underway for a big name star to be in the project. So there you go. We're getting a new movie that's based on The Raid in a way, called Xeno, but it's now not considered technically a remake because the rights have expired, so they're going a different route with that. But hey, I'm excited nonetheless, man. Joe Carnahan's awesome, and I can't wait to see what he does with this kind of source material. We have the trailer for Gangs of London, which, speaking of The Raid, this is from director of The Raid, Gareth Evans. This is his new movie that he directed, so check out Gangs of London trailer. Also, the trailer for The Iron Mask, which is a new Jackie Chan, Arnold Schwarzenegger movie that looks fucking bonkers. Once again, these two guys that could make a really badass action movie together decide to make some silly-ass fucking movie. I don't understand why, but you can check out this trailer if you're interested. We also have the trailer for The French Dispatch, which is the new Wes Anderson movie. I hate Wes Anderson movies, so I couldn't even take myself to watch this trailer. It looks so bad. So yeah. On last episode, we talked about Ray Donovan getting canceled. Now, Liev Schreiber says there will be more. Ooh, what does that mean? I don't know, because he said this a couple days ago, and I have no new news on this thing, but he is saying that there will be more, that he can't discuss any specifics, but that everybody will be returning. All I can think of is that, they did figure out a way to either make a movie finale or maybe a shortened final season. But nonetheless, I am very excited about this. Like I said on the last episode, I'm a huge Ray Donovan fan, and it really wasn't fair for them to go out the way they did after 7 seasons. So I hope he's right, and I hope there will be more. But I'm a little concerned that he came out and said that, and days later there have been no news on it. So fingers crossed, hopefully they'll get something going there. Krysten Ritters is set to lead a new dark comedy from the Don't Trust the Bee and Apartment 23 creator. So I'm excited about that because she was on that show, and I really, really liked Don't Trust the Bee and Apartment 23. It was a funny-ass show. So I'm glad she's going to lead this new comedy. Supposedly, they have sent it out to a lot of the streaming services, and all the streaming services are bidding, or they're in a bidding war over this show. So it must be some really good stuff. So I can't wait to see where this thing lands. Paul Adelstein has been cast as Chief of Staff in Showtime's new show, The President is Missing. We have the Batman camera test. Ooh, baby. Have you seen this thing? So they are officially filming the Batman right now. Matt Reeves released a camera test with Rob Pattinson in his new Batsuit. So this is the first look that we could see of him as Batman. It's hard to get a true judgment because it's red tinted and you only see kind of the chest plate up and you don't even see the full cowl, so you can't see how big the ears are or anything like that. But from what I see, it looks very much like the Arkham suits from the video games, and I dig it. I like it. It's no Ben Affleck, because Affleck was the bomb as Batman, yo. Batfleck like a motherfucker. So I'm still bummed very much that Ben Affleck isn't Batman. Which, on a side note, I did just post an article earlier today about him talking a little bit about why he stepped down as Batman, so check that out. But, it looks really good. Rob Pattinson looks really good. The suit looks pretty cool. I just want to see a full shot of it, and I want to see it under normal lighting. So, but from what we've seen, it looks pretty cool. Also, on Valentine's Day, Netflix dropped a small little teaser for Stranger Things Season 4, which of course showed us the return of Hopper. That's right, of course he's not dead. Everybody loves this dude on the show, but he's in Russia, man. The video was called From Russia with Love, and but at least it exposes that he is alive and out there in Russia. So glad to see David Harbour back for the next season. The Last OG, Tracy Morgan's TBS comedy, returns in April, and the first teaser trailer for Season 3 is out. Netflix's Master of the Universe, this is the Kevin Smith cartoon sequel to the original cartoon series from the 80s, has just cast and added to the voice casting Mark Hamill, Lena Headey, Sarah Michelle Gellar, yes, the list here is pretty damn crazy. Kevin Smith came out and said he couldn't believe that he got the talent that he got for this thing. He's super, super excited. Remember, this is an animated. This has nothing to do with the Noah Centineo movie that Sony is doing that we talked about earlier, Masters of the Universe. This is just this is a cartoon version, like I said, that will be treated as a direct sequel series to the original He-Man cartoons from the 80s that I grew up on. So I'm curious to see what they do there. In addition to those names we just talked about, Chris Wood from Supergirl, Liam Cunningham, Stephen Root, Deirdre Bader, Griffin Newman, Tiffany Smith, Henry Rollins, Alan Oppenheimer, Susan Eisenberg, Alicia Silverstone, Justin Long, Jason Mewes, Phil Lamar, Tony Todd, Cree Summer, Kevin Michael Richardson, Kevin Conroy, and of course Harley Quinn Smith, his daughter. So lots of voices coming on to this thing. Mark Hamill is set to take over the role of Skeletor, while the original actor Oppenheimer will voice Mossman, with Lena Headey voicing Skeletor's right-hand woman Evelyn, and Chris Wood will be doing He-Man himself, and Sarah Michelle Gellar and Cunningham are voicing He-Man's compatriots Teela and Man-at-Arms. So very, very cool, man. Lots of stuff going on in this sequel series. The overall synopsis is: a radical return to Eternia. Revelation is a direct sequel series to the classic era of Masters of the Universe, featuring fan favorites He-Man, Orko, Cringer, Man-at-Arms. The story pits our heroic warriors and guardians of Castle Grayskull against Skeletor, Evelyn, Beastman, and the vile legion of Snake Mountain. But after a ferocious final battle forever fractures Eternia, it's up to Teela to solve the mystery of the missing Sword of Power in a race against time to prevent the end of the universe. Her journey will uncover the secrets of Grayskull at last. This is the epic He-Man and the Masters of the Universe saga fans have waited 35 years to see. Man, no release date set yet from Netflix, but it's coming, baby, so get ready. Speaking of Netflix, the Debbie Ryan show Insatiable has been canceled after 2 seasons. Lucifer, Netflix, and Warner Brothers are in negotiations for a possible Season 6 renewal. That's right, and the big news about this is Season 5 hasn't even come out yet. But before Season 5, Netflix has already come out and said Lucifer is canceled. That's it. The show's done. It's over. Lucifer is kaput. Well, the fan support has been so big for this show that now Netflix says, okay, I think we want some more. So Netflix is negotiating with Warner Brothers to say, let's keep the show on the air, man. We don't need to stop after 5 seasons. Let's bring it back for a 6th. So no word on if it's going to be official yet, but I am so happy to see them negotiating because I love Lucifer, and I don't think there's any reason to stop the show right now. The show Bosch, that show is coming to an end. That's right, Amazon Prime Video has announced that Bosch has been renewed for a 7th and final season over on Amazon. Olivia Wilde is set to direct a biopic on Olympic gold medalist Carrie Strug. That's right, and the movie's going to be called Perfect. Rufus Sewell joins Baz Luhrmann's Elvis Presley biopic. Indiana Jones is supposedly going to start filming in a couple weeks. Oh, man, it's catching up fast. Samuel L. Jackson is set to team with the directors of the movie Focus for a new Hitman thriller. Jake Johnson and Omar Sy are returning for the next Jurassic World movie. We have the link to hear Billie Eilish's new James Bond theme song, No Time to Die, so you can check that out and see what you think. I think it's just okay. It doesn't really feel like a Bond song, but I can see what they were going for. HBO has renewed Avenue 5 for a 2nd season, so good thing there. I do like Avenue 5, so I'm glad to see it coming back. Zoe Saldana is set to join Casey Affleck in a new produced movie called Fencer. Sony Pictures is developing a Crossfire film based on the popular first-person shooter video game. I don't even know what the fuck this video game is. I never played Crossfire. Where's the Call of Duty movie? I don't know what this Crossfire thing is, but It's funny to say, like, oh, we're going to adapt a first-person shooter. Well, that's just an action movie, really, when it comes down to it, and you're going to call it Crossfire just because it has a couple SWAT guys in it. I mean, it's kind of silly if you ask me. That's not really a video game adaptation. Godfather of Harlem has been renewed for a second season over at Epix. Taika Waititi is going to do a new Showtime show called The Auteur, and Jude Law is set to star in it, so that'd be pretty cool. We have the new trailer for Star Wars The Clone Wars that you can check out. Lance Bass is producing an NSYNC movie, but it's not what you think. This is going to be about some crazed fans following them around while they're on tour, supposedly based on a true story. So we'll see what he does with that. Actually, Indiana Jones is set to start filming in 2 months. I think I said 2 weeks, so I just wanted to correct that. We have the trailer for The Green Knight, which is a new Dave Patel fantasy movie. Lance Gross is going to be guest starring on Hawaii Five-0, and if the show gets renewed for another season, he could become a recurring character, series regular, so that would be pretty interesting there. 30-something, that new show has added another actor. That's right, Outcast's Patrick Fugit has been added to the sequel pilot. Chris Wood is returning as Mon-El for Supergirl's 100th episode, so welcome back. Big surprise there. Scott Cooper is set to direct Margaret Qualley in the new thriller A Head Full of Ghosts. Tom Holland confirms that Uncharted will be a Nathan Drake origin story, which is pretty much what we thought it was going to be. So good to see there. Give me just one sec. We have another little teaser trailer for No Time to Die, so check that out. Jennifer Hudson performed a Kobe Bryant tribute at the NBA All-Star Game, which was pretty cool, and we posted that video if you want to check that out. Joe Dante is set to consult on HBO Max's Gremlins: Secrets of the Mogwai. So yes, very, very cool there. The Book of Ruth has just added Ruth Wilson and Matt Bomer to star in the new age drama film that they're putting together. We got some first look photos of Chris Hemsworth as he stars in the new Netflix action film Extraction. I can't wait for this, man, so check out that. We also have some first look photos of Bill and Ted. That's right, remember there's a new Bill and Ted movie coming in August, so we're starting to see more and more. Hopefully that trailer drops pretty soon. The Eternals will have the first LGBTQ kiss in an MCU film, so there you go there. Woody Harrelson's Cletus Cassidy has a brand new look for Venom 2, and you can check out the picture there, but they are taking it down very fast. I think they're trying to keep it a secret. What I took away from the picture is that they're actually filming this thing, and supposedly they're done filming now. So I am glad, because if you listened once again to our most anticipated list, I had Venom on our most anticipated list, and I was like, I'm not even sure this movie's going to come out this year, because I've heard nothing about it since it started supposedly filming. We've seen no pictures, we've heard no news, and then finally this Woody Harrelson picture came out, and then supposedly Tom Hardy Instagrammed that they were done filming, so I was like, oh my god, they actually did do this movie in time, so I'm very happy about that. We got some new Matrix 4 set videos as well, which feature Keanu Reeves and Carrie-Anne Moss. Leigh Whannell wants Wyatt Russell for the Escape from New York reboot, if they do one. Dane DeHaan is a brutal sociopath in the trailer for Quibi's new show, The Stranger. You can check that out now. There's going to be an Overwatch cartoon and a Diablo anime series reportedly in the works from Blizzard Studios. We have the trailer for I Am Not Okay With This, which is a new Netflix show coming soon. Lark Voorhees says that she is slighted and hurt about not being in the revival for Saved by the Bell coming to the new NBC streaming service Peacock. Remember, she played Lisa Turtle. She was one of the main groups. I don't know. I don't know the backstory to this. I understand where she's coming from. If you're going to be bringing pretty much everybody back, how could you not have Lisa Turtle in this? But hey, you never know. You never know where they're going to go with it. They'll probably say she married Screech and they went very far away, so that way they don't have to worry about both of them. On My Block and Elite get some season 3 premiere dates over at Netflix. Gerard Butler is going to play a former war correspondent turned corporate security consultant in a new action thriller from director John Matheson. That's right, and the movie will be called Berlin. Actually, I think the movie's called Remote Control, not Berlin. Sorry about that. Ozzy Osbourne is having to cancel his North American tour to focus on some health issues, so hopefully everything will be okay with Ozzy. He is suffering from Parkinson's disease right now, so it's just going to be too hard for him to tour. Netflix has ordered an Opioid Crisis series with Peter Berg directing. It's going to be called Painkiller. I bet that's going to be really good. Ryan Murphy has unveiled the first look at Ewan McGregor in Netflix's Halston. Zima and Kang Ho Tan have joined CW's female-led Kung Fu reboot. Ava DuVernay is reuniting with the When They See Us Freddie Miyares for her new show DMZ. Martin McDonagh is reuniting with In Bruges co-stars Colin Farrell and Gleason. Man, I'm spacing his first name. Gleason. For a new project they're going to be working on. Dexter Fletcher is set to direct Paramount's The Saint reboot, so they're finally moving forward on that. That's been teased for a long time. Carl Lumbly has joined the cast of Falcon and the Winter Soldier for Disney+. Carl Lumbly, I know him mostly lately from Supergirl. He plays the Martian Manhunter's dad, but he's been popping up in a lot of stuff lately. Lost reunion on MacGyver. That's right. George Garcia is crossing over as Hawaii Five-O's Jerry on an upcoming episode of MacGyver. So very cool there. And that, my friends, is the news of the week. Look at that. We did that in 35 minutes. How sweet. How sweet it is to do that in 35 minutes. All right. Let's see what our release dates are. Out on Blu-ray and DVD, actually today, since we're recording on a Tuesday, is Jojo Rabbit, 21 Bridges, A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, Midway, and The Good Liar. So lots of new releases. In theaters this Friday is The Call of the Wild, Harrison Ford's new movie, and the sequel to the horror movie no one asked for, Brahms, The Boy 2. Nobody liked The Boy 1. I don't even know how we have a sequel to this. Here's your box office. Weekend box office top 10. Coming in number 10, it's Downhill. I'm very sad to see this at number 10. I know it was in limited release, but I thought it looked really, really funny with Will Ferrell and Louis Dreyfus. Louis. God damn it. I hate spacing fucking names on this show. Veep. Seinfeld. You know what I'm talking about. That movie looks so good. And I just was very sad to see it at only number 10 with 4.7 million. Number 9 was Doolittle with 5.1. Number 8 was Parasite with 5.5. Number 7 was Jumanji: The Next Level with 5.7. Number 6 is 1917 with 8.1. Number 5 is Bad Boys for Life with 11.3. Number 4 is a debut. It's The Photograph with 12.3 million. Number 3 is Fantasy Island. The plane, boss, the plane. Fantasy Island, $12.4 million in its debut. Number 2 is the recently retitled Harley Quinn Birds of Prey with 17.1 million. And the number 1 movie, man, crushing it, Sonic the Hedgehog, $57 million. Congratulations to Sonic. It beat Detective Pikachu to become the biggest debut weekend for a video game movie ever. So congratulations to Sonic. Very, very cool. Number 1, $57 million. And on that note, my friends, that'll do it for me as we wrap this baby up. I don't know, being honest, if I will be back next week with a new episode. There's no big releases coming out this weekend. Like I said, my dad is here visiting. I'm going to be on vacation for pretty much the next week. So I'm going to be really, really busy. I don't know if I'll get lucky with time again. I'm going to just say we'll base it on availability. So if I can drop one, I will, guys. If not, we're going to skip next week and we'll come back with a vengeance the following week. Okay? So just keep your eyes out on our social media. We'll always keep you posted. But thanks for everything, your support, your patience. I appreciate y'all. All right, let's do some shout outs. Our official webpage is amiontheair.com. You can like us on Facebook at facebook.com/amiontheair. Follow us on Twitter at amiontheair. You can follow me on Twitter at dxdonmega. Follow me on Stardust. Stardust is badass. You're going to like it. Download Stardust and follow me at simply Don Mega, DONMEGA, and I will follow you back. If you're an Apple podcast kind of person, don't sweat it. We're right there available, right there for you. Apple Podcasts, go ahead, rate and subscribe. Drop us a 5-star review. I'd really appreciate it. But if Apple ain't your thing, don't you worry, man. We got you covered in all kinds of other ways. Spotify, iHeartRadio, Spreaker, Stitcher, TuneIn, Podchaser. We're available on Google Podcasts, Google Play Music. Yes, we're available on pretty much every podcast forum that's out there. And if none of those work for you, you can even listen to the show on YouTube. So go to youtube.com/amiontheair and listen to the show there as well too. It's just audio only, but you can still listen to the show. I give you no excuses to find this show and listen to it. Follow us on Instagram as well for some really cool posters and different things. So Instagram, just at amiontheair. And, of course, our great affiliates at reddragonsradio.com, always streaming the show 24/7. That's reddragonsradio.com, all one word. Follow on Twitter, same thing, Red Dragons Radio. So thank you, everybody, for joining me on this Tuesday, February the 18th. I hope everybody's had a great month so far. I hope you all had a great Valentine's Day. And I'm going to go enjoy some family time, some PTO time, some rest and relief, to get my mind right before I go back to work, and get February behind me, man. I'm looking forward to March, my birthday. There's a lot of stuff going on in March. I think it'll be a way better month. So, yeah. So take care of yourselves and each other, and until next time, y'all. Peace.
Bye, everybody. Red Dragons! Red Dragons!